Which DLC should you buy if you're getting into Shinobi Striker? People ask me this question all the time. People also tell me that this game is dead, even though I keep finding matches super fast, and I still have a lot of new players asking me the same question, so sorry to disappoint. I don't know what to tell you. The game's still very much alive, even though it's 3 years old. This is not a competitive tier list. If you're a competitive player, you don't need me to tell you which character to buy, because you already bought all of them. Besides, if there's a patch that nerfs a certain DLC's jutsu, congratulations, you've wasted your money. I looked at all the DLC from Season 1 to Season 3 and considered how good everyone's jutsu is, but also how fun are they to use? How unique are they? Do they allow your class to play differently? And I even took into consideration the extra stuff that the DLCs bring you, like the accessories and the weapons. The jutsu is definitely what matters the most, but how good they are in a competitive match isn't everything. So basically, this is a tier list of where to spend your money the best on DLC. Brought to you by Keeps. Every 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they hit 35. I'm not a gambling man, but 2 out of 3, I don't like those odds. Luckily, Keeps is here to help you keep that hair. And they've made it so easy that you can actually get treated from the comfort of your own house. No need to physically visit a doctor. You can visit a doctor online with Keeps and get a prescription. And then also get the medication you need delivered to your home every 3 months. There's no magic solution, there's no special potion that will just grow your hair back. The best way to keep your hair is by preventing hair loss. Treatments can take up from 4 to 6 months, sometimes even more to see results, so the sooner you start using Keeps, the more hair you will save. So if you're noticing that you're losing hair, just do something about it. Go to keeps.com/Globku, and for a limited time you'll get 50% off your first order. Link down below. Thank you Keeps for sponsoring this video. We're gonna rank characters one at a time, and we're gonna start with the attack types. For each character, I'm gonna rank their jutsu as either a top, good, mid, or bad jutsu. I'm also gonna let you know exactly what each character brings you before placing them on a tier list, so you know exactly what you're buying. The worst attack type is Killer B. You basically buy Killer B for the Octopus Hug. That's his one good jutsu. Acrobat is really bad, his ultimate is kinda mid, but as a bonus he also brings a defense type weapon and the Raikage hat, so we're gonna rank him at C. Moving up a bit, we have Hashirama. Everything Hashirama has is good. Both his jutsu are good, his ultimate is also good, and as a bonus he also gives you a weapon. He doesn't have any top jutsu, but you can start building something decent with him. That said, you're probably gonna need some other DLC to complete his loadout, so we're gonna rank him at B. Very similar to Hashirama, we have the 4th Hokage. Everything he has is good, but not top. Minato is the most overhyped character in this game. And I get it, the character is cool in the show, his moves teleport him in the game, so it looks cool, but they're just good. None of them are top moves. He also has a weapon for range types, and I'm gonna give him bonus points for how unique his jutsu are. B rank as well. Then we have Might Guy, and he has some of the best attack type jutsu for sure. Dynamic Entry is a top jutsu. It has the range, it guard breaks, it sets up for combos. It's easily one of the best attack type jutsu in the game. His ultimate is also one of the best. He opens up the gates, goes on a killing rampage, and then one-shots opponents when he activates his ultimate again. Even at the cost of his life, this thing can wreck an entire team. It's crazy good. However, Youthful Shout is a bad jutsu. It's the stain on an otherwise perfect DLC, and because of that stain, we're gonna be placing him at A. Finally, getting into S tier territory, first up we have Shisui, and it's funny because Shisui doesn't have any top jutsu. All of them are good, though Oboroguruma is not easy to use. It's not super appropriate for casuals. You gotta put in the work to use that jutsu. But outside of his good jutsu, he also brings a crazy good weapon for range types, which has a unique moveset. You just spam triangle to throw explosive kunai. That thing is insane. And he's currently the only way to get my absolute favorite substitution in the game, which is Swift Step. That means that when you buy Shisui, you get a godly substitution, no matter if you play attack type or any other class. Shisui has really good value. Even if none of his jutsu are top, we're still gonna place him at S tier because of that. And the last attack type DLC is Adult Naruto, who's gonna sit at the top of this tier list. He brings so much. Twin Impact is a top jutsu, one of the best in the game. Armored attack that guard breaks and you can combo into, top jutsu easy. Rasen Barrage isn't a top jutsu, but it's still really good. His ultimate might be the best one in the game. You heal yourself, get a temporary buff to wreak havoc, and then you one-shot your opponents on top of that. This ultimate does everything. And then outside his jutsu, he gives you a ninja tool for any class type, which is the scientific tool Rasengan, and the Kurama accessory, which has a unique buff. No other accessory has this buff. It heals you when you reach an 11-hit combo. And with the Rasengan tool, that becomes super easy to achieve in a match, no matter the class. And also he's got the Hokage hat if you want that drip. They gave him everything, and that's why he's at the top of this list. Next up, let's talk range types, starting with the worst, Orochimaru. Don't buy Orochimaru. I think his snake jutsu is neat. Sometimes I have fun with that jutsu, building some fun loadouts. I don't think it's great, but it's fun, so I consider it good. The Great Bridge Courage is mid and his ultimate is bad. Yes, the ultimate one-shots, but many other ultimates one-shot as well, and also charge a lot faster, making this kind of worthless. He also brings a weapon and the snake substitution, which poisons the enemy if you hit them with a clone. I don't think that sub is that unique or that good, so Orochimaru goes on the D tier. Next, let's talk about Haku. Haku is the pinnacle of mid. Every jutsu is mid. It's not bad, it's not good either, it's just mid. The ultimate has no range compared to other ultimates, it's also very mid, and as a bonus, Haku has a new substitution, which again is not that unique, and also has a bonus outfit. Haku brings 2 outfits instead of just 1. So Haku goes on top of the C tier for now. Kakashi Dual Sharingan is the most lazy DLC on this entire list. They give him a Shidori and a Kamui, 2 jutsu that already existed in game. Now the Shidori I consider straight up a duplicate since range types already had 2 at this point. Yes, it has invisibility but also has a bigger cooldown, but it doesn't bring anything new to range types, which is why I call it a duplicate. The Kamui is good though. It already existed but only for defense types, and as a range type, I think you use it completely different. I also think the ultimate is good, not top, just good, and he also brings 2 outfits instead of just 1, so he's gonna be a B tier. Tobirama has a good jutsu with Water Dragon and a bad jutsu with Severing Wave. You just launch that and pray it hits, but it does have a top ultimate jutsu, one of the best range types can have, which is Tandem Bomb. He also brings a weapon for heal types, so we're gonna rank him at A. That top ultimate really pushed him up there. Up next, Uchiha Madara. Both of his jutsu are top range type jutsu. That's really good value for a DLC. Majestic is huge and hard to dodge and guard breaks, and Hiding in Ash stuns nearby opponents so he can be used for combos as well as carrying flags or escaping a really tough situation. Unfortunately for Madara, his ultimate is mid. Takes a really long time to charge and can be easy to dodge if you're looking out for it. He does bring you a weapon that looks awesome though. He's definitely an A rank. If not for his ultimate, he would be S rank for sure. And finally, what I consider the best range type DLC, Adult Sasuke. Competitively, I actually think Madara might be better, but Sasuke not only brings more, his jutsu are also more unique and allow you to play with a lot of different builds. The pull is kinda mid. I barely use it to be honest. Onyx Chidori, I know it's another duplicate, but it allowed range types to run double Chidori builds, even if it's just for the memes. And then the Rinnegan swap, which to me is not only a top jutsu, it's also one of the most fun jutsu to use as a team. You can have whatever setup you want and just swap your opponent into it, and they're absolutely powerless to do anything about it. And yes, you heard it right, Sasuke is the only DLC that actually gives you 3 jutsu instead of 2. On top of that, his ultimate might be the best range type ult in the game. And he also has a cool looking sword. I still think Naruto has more stuff for all the different class types, so Naruto is still gonna sit at the top, but Sasuke is gonna follow closely behind. Alright, the next type, you guys know what it is. It's obviously the heal types. You thought I was gonna leave heal types for last? You wouldn't watch the whole video if I left heal types for last, now would you? Don't worry, I got some spicy hot takes for you. Ino, D tier. Worst DLC in the game. Go ahead, rage all you want. I'll wait. Mind Transfer is a bad jutsu and her ultimate is mid. I think we can all agree on that. Where we might not agree is on her healing jutsu. I'm gonna say her healing is bad. Now, it's not bad because you can't heal a team, you definitely can. You can hide in a corner and heal and be very annoying, absolutely. The reason why it's a bad jutsu is because if you want to run this healing jutsu, you have to hide and be away from all the action and just heal and refresh cooldown. It makes the game super boring. Are you even playing the game at that point? I don't care how good it is, Ino makes the game worse when you run her jutsu. Shinobi Striker is a better game before you buy Ino than after you buy Ino. On top of that, she has no extra stuff. Bottom of D tier, worst DLC in the game. Tsunade, I hated the Tsunade DLC, dude. Tsunade has one of the best ultimates for heal types, no doubt. That's the one thing she has. She also gives you a bottle as a weapon, I guess. But the thing is, both of her jutsu are duplicates. They bring nothing new to heal types. The kick is another Cherry Blossom Clash, which we already had Sakura's and Sarada's. Nervous Rupture is like a worse Chakra Scalpel that they gave better tracking to try and make it relevant. This was almost a D tier DLC, but the ultimate saves her and bumps her up to C. Onoki is very unique. He allowed heal types to play a kind of support that wasn't possible before by buffing your team and nerfing the opposition. Both his jutsu are good, even if they are unconventional. The ultimate is very mid though. He also brings 2 accessories, the nose and the Tsushikage hat. They don't have unique buffs, but the nose especially has a lot of drip. Solid DLC, B tier. Mei is good. Her water pillar is good even if it has a lot of counters nowadays. It's still a good jutsu. Lava, I think it's it's mid. There aren't a lot of counters to lava, but that thing is hard to aim, and players just stay in the air most of the time and avoid it. Her mist is a top ultimate jutsu. It's got so much range, you can't really ignore it because your health just melts. It's one of the best ultimates for heal types. And she also brings a unique defense type weapon with a brand new moveset. Really good DLC, A tier. And the best heal type DLC has to be Naruto Last Battle. The orb makes you invulnerable, it only has 3 jutsu that counter it, and it also disables opponent's jutsu. Rebirth is mid. It heals, it revives characters, so its effects are really good, but its range is really bad, making it tough to use. And the ultimate is top. Easy kills, excellent tracking, one of the best ultimates for heal types. On top of that, he also brings a new unique substitution, which doesn't really do anything, but it has 2 stocks. So very unique for sure, and he also brings 2 outfits instead of 1. He's our only S tier heal type DLC. Now finally, defense type mains. Here is your DLC ranked in the tier list. Do not buy the third Hokage. Both his jutsu are mid. One is just a fireball that takes ages to cast, and the other one is Earth Dragon, which is a bad jutsu in my opinion, but you can make some fun builds with it, so I bump it up to mid. His ultimate is bad. It takes so long to charge and mostly just kills one person. The enemy does take longer to respawn, but this is nothing compared to other defense type ultimates. He also has a weapon for defense types, but it's the same moveset as the long sword, so D tier. Jiraiya committed a pretty big sin. He's got a good jutsu, Toad Oil is extremely solid, his ultimate is also good, but he brought a duplicate jutsu. Needle Jizo is basically the rock, but it pokes the opponents. And the rock actually heals you. Jizo does not. Getting duplicate jutsu out of a DLC that you spent money on is extremely disappointing. Like the third Hokage also brings a weapon with a repeated moveset, so that along with a good ultimate and a good jutsu, we're gonna rank him at C. Duplicate jutsu are unforgivable. Next, we're gonna get controversial again. Neji, B rank. You see, this is why this isn't a competitive tier list. If it was, he'd be a lot higher because Hazan Strike. Hazan Strike is a top defense jutsu, no doubt about it, but that's all he brings to the game. Body blow is bad, ultimate is mid, and he costs the same money as all of the other characters on the list. If you want to spend that money for one jutsu, be my guest, but in my opinion, that makes him a B rank. Obito is good jutsu, both the Flame Shield and Kamui, and they're also very unique. Defense types had nothing like this before Obito, so points for having unique jutsu, and his ultimate with the flames is also good. He's just an all-around good DLC, kinda like Hashirama for attack types. Nothing top, nothing bad. So let's rank him there, right next to Hashirama. Next, the latest DLC, Boruto Karma. Water Puddle is a top jutsu. It's crazy how much it counters, how much damage it deals, how many combos you can set up with it. Top defense jutsu, no doubt. Boruto Stream is very mid. It needed a lot of tweaking. It's mostly just unreliable in this online environment. His ultimate is really good. I'd say almost a top ultimate. The dome denies pretty much everything, and if you want, you can just deactivate it and you keep a massive defense and attack buff. He also brings you the multi-shadow clone substitution, same as Naruto Last Battle. The one that doesn't really do anything but has 2 stocks. And I really like the Kawaki hairstyle with the 2 colors. Really good DLC, A tier. And finally, Zabuza, the best defense type DLC. Demon Hunter is a top jutsu. Activation deals decent damage, and then you just have super armor to do whatever you want. Water Prison is also good, the Mist ultimate is also good, and he gives you his sword as well. I'd say in terms of value, buying him or Boruto is a matter of personal preference. So we're ranking these 2 right next to each other. And that concludes the tier list. If you want to buy a season pass, I would mostly recommend Season Pass 2. I think it offers the most value, but it really depends on what class type you play the most. Which is why in this tier list I included the icons, so if you're an attack type main, it's easy to see which DLC you should go for. And I hope if anything this video has helped you spend your money smarter and not feel ripped off because you were an Orochimaru or Jiraiya fan, only to find out that they're not really that good in this game. You can still buy them, but now you know. Don't forget to check out today's sponsor Keeps, follow the link down below for 50% off your first order. And who's your favorite Shinobi Striker DLC? I just want to know your personal, full biased opinion. Let me know in the comments, but as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku and I'll see you next time. Bye.